Let me ask you a question. Where were you financially 3 to 5 years ago? And where are you now? Are you massively better off? Are you worse off? Are you in the same position? Have you been chasing rainbows for 3 to 5 years or maybe longer? I know people that have been trying to make money online for over 10 years and have just been pouring money into a bottomless pit. So if you've been chasing rainbows, I want you to stop chasing rainbows that promise overnight success and instead concentrate on something different. Instead of thinking about where you were 3 to 5 years ago, let's think about where you want to be in 3 to 5 years and set a plan out that will guarantee to get you there. I say guarantee, there are no guarantees in life. The only guarantee is death, and some say taxes, but even they're not really guaranteed. Okay, almost guaranteed to get you there. I want to show you, and what I want to show you is something that you can get started with now. It may take you a day, or it took me about 3 days because I'm pretty slow to get set up with this, but once it's done, it's done, and then you can sit back and watch it. And what this program is it's based on a 3 to 5 year plan, and these numbers underneath that 350 here, these numbers down here are 6-month periods. So what we're looking at is a target growth of 12.5% per month. Now you may think that that's ridiculous, fantastic, pie in the sky, it's got to be a Ponzi, it's a scam, and I can understand where you're coming from. I have personally checked this out before I have promoted it. I've been caught by scams in the past. In fact, I joined this very program quite some time ago. Can't remember exactly how long, but I joined it quite some time ago, and it was based on an automatic trading bot which was supposed to perform miracles, and frankly I lost my money with it, but fortunately I never promoted it. Nobody that I introduced lost money because I didn't introduce anybody. About 3 months or so ago, no, probably longer than that, but I didn't catch on to it for a while, they changed from this automatic trading bot because it simply wasn't working, and they went out and they found real live traders who use signals and every other means and tools that there are, but these are experienced people who manage the accounts and are generating an average, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but an average of 12.5% per month growth. So it's nice, you can set this up and then sit back and just watch it, and that's what I recommend you do. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at this column here. We've got the 350, which is a minimum investment if you're using cryptocurrencies. If you're going to use a bank account transfer or something like that, it's $300. But because of the drastic fluctuations in the value of cryptocurrencies, they request $350. This 12.5% is the target growth. Some months it'll be more, some months it'll be less. We're looking at an average, and an average that they hope to improve on rather than fall short of. But if they achieve their target of 12.5%, which I'm finding they're doing, then these figures ring true. I already talked about this column. I said these are 6-month periods, and the reason we're going in 6-month periods is because if you take 12.5% and you add it every month and compound it so that you get more growth, it will double your funds invested in a 6-month period. So that's what we're showing. We're showing at the end of one 6-month period at 12.5% average growth, you would now have $700 if you invested $350. At the end of the second period, that would again double to $1,400. And you can see that it's relatively slow at the beginning, but as we get into the third and fourth period, at the end of 2 years, it's increased to 5,600. And at the end of 3 years, you're looking at 22,400. This is for that just one single, one-time investment of $350. If we go down to 4 years, 89,600. And if we go down to 5 years, we're looking at $358,000 is your investment capital. Starting with a very low amount, let's look at 3 to 6 years instead of 3 to 5 years, and in 6 years you would have almost $1.5 million. So what's this column here? Well, this column here is if you were happy with just having 700 and taking the income from it, the income at 12.5% per month is worth $87.50 a month. You can also look at this as if you have sufficient capital and you want to put in a lump sum and get a monthly payment immediately, you could put in $11,200 and get $1,400 per month out as an income. These are the incomes per month that you would get for any of these levels of investment. So you can see that with 350, just that minimum 350 invested, at the end of 7 periods, 3.5 years, you would have over $44,000, and that would provide you with an income of $5,600 per month. That is quite an amazing income in 3.5 years for a single one-time $350 investment. I tell you now that if you were to go out and try and purchase an annuity that would pay you $5,600 a month, if you were old enough, you could probably get it for around $1 million. But if you're anything under 65 or 70 years of age, it's going to cost you much more than that. Here we have something that you can start at any age over legal age. So if you started this at 18, 3.5 years, by the time you're 21, you could have a $5,600 per month income and never have to work again. Leave it for 4 years and your income is now $11,200 per month. So you could take out $10,000 a month and still have $1,200 increasing your capital, building up your investment portfolio. Does it work? I've not been in it for long enough to give you that sort of assurance, but I have been in it for several months, and for me it's working. And what I've done, because it's fun to check these things, is I've set up an account for my wife with just $350, and I want to show you that now. And I only set it up on the 19th of November, and if I slide this down to the bottom right, you can see that today it's 7:21 in the morning on the 21st of November. Okay, so it's been running for just 2 days. Well, not even 2 days, because it was late in the 19th of November and now it's very early in the 21st of November. So remember, this is not get rich quick. This is a plan for 3 to 5 years. It's definitely get rich, but it's not one of these scams where they promise to have millions of dollars flowing into your bank account overnight just by pressing a button or something. Okay, we're setting in process something that we're going to allow to grow to whatever level we want, whether it's to get 5,000 a month in 3.5 years, or if you can put in more money, obviously it'll get you to those goals much faster. And below this video, I'm going to give you a link to that very simple spreadsheet, and you can put in your own figures so that you can see where you can be and how long it'll take you to get where you want to go. But 350 is the minimum if you're using crypto, 300 is the minimum if you're using a debit card, credit card, or bank transfer or something like that. Okay. Now once you set up, and it can take you a while, it took me, I'm not the sharpest knife in the box when it comes to these sort of things, I got to confess, and it took me about 3 days to get this set up properly. Not 3 full days, it probably was 10 or 12 hours over 3 days to get this done. But when I set up my wife's account, which was about 3 months or so later than setting up my own account with these new traders, I remembered a lot of the stuff, and even I managed to do it in under a day, and most of that time was spent waiting for approvals, because you have to conform with the Know Your Customer legislation, and it just takes a while to get those approvals through. It's pretty simple, but it just takes time. They have to see the documents that you submit and say, yeah, okay, we accept those documents, and this sort of thing. And then it takes not very long to transfer the funds, but it takes a while. So what have we got? Well, first of all, I want to show you here, and this is my wife's transactions, and I'm going to have to make this bigger because you can't see them because they're all at the side. Okay, that's better. Now this is my wife's, they call it an MT4 account, and really all this shows is the transactions that she's made. It would show any deposits, any transfers anywhere, and any withdrawals, this sort of thing. Don't worry about this. The portal that I'm going to give you absolutely free is a training portal which will help you get set up, and it's the most complete set of instructions I've ever seen for anything online or offline for that matter. It is absolutely spot on. It works through everything really step by step, and even if you're as slow as me, you can get this done within a few hours. It took me, as I say, about 10 to 12 hours the first time, and setting up my wife's account was probably, I don't know, probably under a couple of hours. And anybody that a bit more savvy can probably set the whole thing up in 30 minutes. But if you don't know what you're doing, like I didn't, then just take your time. The important thing is to get set up. So here we have, I told you I sent $350 in cryptocurrency. Well, when they received it, they actually credited me with $343, or credited my wife with $343 because this is her account. And that is because of the variance of cryptocurrency. I send it, and by the time they receive it, it could have gone up or down. So you could send 350 and end up with 360. You could send 350 and end up with 320. Whatever it is, okay. But I sent 350 and it came in at 343. And then you see this like a withdrawal here, a minus, so there's nothing in the account. And that's to a PAM deposit. This is an account number, and PAM is simply the automatic trading that's done for us, called PAM. I don't know what the PAM stands for, but it is automatic trading, and this is the person that's trading for me. I picked this one. There are a couple that you can choose from. Now then, what I want to show you is some of the transactions, and this is the PAM account for my wife, PAMM, that's been set up. And here you can see what's happened. It's showing at the moment, let me just refresh this, see if any changes there. Now it's showing $340.59 equity. Equity is the amount that you could withdraw. Okay? Now this has only been running since November the 19th, late on in November the 19th. And it's now, as I showed you before, very early on the 21st. So really, a day. And you could say, okay, it's gone down by $2.41. But the equity is the amount that's not in trade, the amount that you can actually access and get your hands on. So let me just show you. Here we go. I just clicked on that and it brought this page up, which is the investment. So it shows the money manager is King Cobra PAM, and it was created November the 19th, and it's last updated November the 21st at 6 o'clock in the morning. and this is the trading interval. Now the trading interval is the amount of time that runs for automatic payments and things, and there are 2 in each month. They run from the 1st to the 15th and the 15th to the end of the month. This can't run from the 15th because we only started it on the 19th, but it'll run to December the 1st. And it shows the deposit there of 343, and there's been no withdrawals because we don't want to make withdrawals. This is a long-term program, 3 to 5 years. And it shows trade results here. I don't fully understand it, but I do know that closed trades are what's actually been made as a profit, if you like. So there's 26.94 gained in the trades that they've made that are closed, finished with. There's 29.35 actually out being traded now, and when these close there will either be profits or losses. So if you look at that 29 and take off it the 26 that they've made profit, there's $2.41, if you like, at risk. And there's a $15.78 profit for the current trading interval so far. And the balance, this is the balance including trades, it's now $369.94. So that 343 has gone up 26, almost $27 in a day. But you can't draw that. You can only draw what's not in trade, and you can see there's $29.35 in trade, so there's $340.59 which is there available. This is in just one day. Now if you look at that as a percentage, let's get a calculator. If I can move this somewhere, maybe. How do you move it? Told you it wasn't very bright. Here we go. If we look at that as a percentage, if you take that 369.94, 369.94, that includes the amount in trade, and you deduct the 343, that gives you that 26.94 profit. And if we take that and divide it by what we started with, and I'm going to put in 350 because that's what it cost me in effect, even though it was only 343 when it got there. So if I'm going to divide that by 350, and then I'm going to multiply it by 100 for a percentage, that is 7.7% growth in a day. And to me, that is extremely impressive. Now, you're not going to get that every day. Some days you might get a loss. But this is 7.7% growth in a day. You would be lucky to get 2% a year from money in the bank. 7.7% in one day. Do you think they're going to make that 12.5% in a month? I think they're going to make 12.5% in a month. But I'm going to come back here on maybe a weekly basis. Maybe we'll do it daily for a while and show you the results, and they'll be posted on this page so that you can see how things are going. But it's exciting. Once you've set this up, even if it takes you that 3 days that it took me, let's say not full 3 days, but 10 to 12 hours, because you're as slow as me. Maybe you're even slower. Maybe it takes you a week to get it set up. But once it's set up, that's it. You're done. All you do is sit back and watch it grow until you've reached where you want to be. And that is determined by this spreadsheet, which I'm going to allow you to download below this video. And if you've got more money to put in, if you've got $1,000, you can see that just after 18 months you could be drawing $1,000 a month if that's what you're looking for. Put $1,000 in, and 18 months later you can draw $1,000 a month. So in 2 years you'd be $5,000 in profit. You might have a bit more patience, or you might want to get to $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month is what most people could comfortably live on. Take you 2.5 years to get there. A retirement income for a lot of people, $4,000 a month, $1,000 a week roughly. Want to go for the big money? It's here, it's all available. Maybe you've got a pension plan and you were thinking about buying an equity to try and increase your benefits, and you can draw 10,000 out of it. Or maybe you've got 10,000 sat in some account somewhere that's earning next to nothing. Just look at it. After 6 months, you could draw out $2,500 a month. In a year, you'd be $5,000 in profit. There's no way you can invest $10,000 in a bank or a hedge fund or anything like that that's going to provide you with a profit of 50% in a year. And then, from then on, it's all just gravy. If you want $5,000 a month, you have to wait to the end of a year. You want $10,000 a month, you get there in 18 months. Maybe you want to just leave it for a few years. Do that 3 to 5 year plan. 3 years, you'd have $640,000, $80,000 a month. More than you're going to need. Just play with the figures. But don't play with them for too long, because the longer you delay, the longer it's going to take you to get where you want to go. So take a look at it and then get started. Start going through the very, very comprehensive instructions that you'll find once you get the free portal that I'm going to give you here now. All you do, click this button, register, get inside your members area, and then just go through everything. Watch the videos that they give you, click on this getting started, and go through every element that's there. It's not difficult. It's very, very simple, but it is important that you set it up right, you do it just the once, and then you can sit back and watch your investment grow on autopilot. God bless.
Trading Forex exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. This training will introduce a fully automated, hands-free Forex managed account. While the system is automated and hands-free for you, it is manned by real Forex traders. The managed account is with a specific broker. With the exception of a few open to blacklisted countries, the broker does not restrict your ability to open an account based on your citizenship. However, it is possible that your country of citizenship has restrictions on trading with a broker outside of their domicile. It is impossible for us to know all of the countries that may have such restrictions. Due to the viral nature of how this content is distributed, it is incumbent upon you, the potential account holder, to determine if your country of citizenship imposes any such restrictions. Happy trading!